Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, the video quality is quite a bit better than last time. I invested in a new prime lens, which isn't giving me so many issues with banding and lighting issues. So I'm super excited to have you back. If you're new, welcome. I'm going to be doing a tutorial today on this purple and green smoky eye halo look. I'm using the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. So if you are interested, keep on watching. I will try to be more consistent and frequent with my posting of videos. If you have any comments or ideas, things you want to see, different palettes you want to see, let me know in the comments down below and I'll try to hook you up. So if you like this, keep on watching. Thanks. So first things first, with skincare, I washed my face and exfoliated because as you can see, it's pretty broken out right now. So I made sure to gently exfoliate. So then to moisturize, I put on my Neutrogena oil-free moisture for sensitive skin. It's just a sensitive, super gentle moisturizer. And I'm having an allergic reaction under my eyes, so I'm going to be using the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment, which looks like this. It's hard to see because it's pretty light, but it's made with avocado, so it's super hydrating. So I'm just going to kind of rub that gently underneath my eyes and then up onto my eyelids because I have super dry eyelids, and it just helps to apply makeup a little easier when your eyelids are nice and moisturized. The next skincare tip I have, I'm going to use my TruSelf Organics. This is just a peppermint, kind of like a chapstick lip gloss, just because it is about 17 degrees currently outside, so I need to make sure that I keep them super hydrated, especially when I'm doing my makeup. They tend to get pretty dry. So for primer today, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Blemish Control Face Primer, and it's made with 2% salicylic acid, so it's going to help with the breakouts that I have on my face. So I'm going to use about 2 pumps, warm it up, and then I'm going to pat it into my skin. I'm going to be using my Too Faced Hangover RX. This is just a quick little sample of it, and I'm going to be using this because it's super hydrating. So I'm just gently tapping it in on the under eye just so I don't stretch and pull it because the skin is really sore and inflamed and it burns because of whatever's happening. The next one I'm going to put on is my Tarte Clean Slate Poreless. I'm going to put this kind of around the nose area, around the acne, just to kind of give it a base, like all the makeup, a base to sit on. So I put about a pea-sized amount on my finger, rub it between my hands, and then this, again, I just want to press. So the first step in doing my makeup, I'm going to be using a primer, not really a primer, but just a concealer on my eyelids to just give a base for everything to stick to. So I'm just using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in Lights, and I'm just kind of dotting it on the eyelids. And I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender just to kind of push it all in, drag it up to your brow bone too. So the first step that we're going to do is lay down my transition color because we want something for all the bright colors to stick to. So I'm going to be using Makeup Geek's Beaches and Cream right here. This is like a nice neutral shade, matches a lot of lighter light skin tones. And I'm going to be using a Morphe M441 with that. Make sure you tap off your excess so you don't have dust flying all over. And then you're just going to concentrate it up into the crease and right above. Just, you're giving a base for everything else to seamlessly blend. And you're just going to want to use something that looks pretty close to your own skin color. So you're not really going to see a whole lot once you're laying this down. But it's just going to make a huge difference later when you're trying to blend everything together. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the big boy, the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. I got this from my husband for Christmas. This is what it looks like. I'm going to take my Morphe M441 again, and I'm going to go into the color C's. It is the second kind of reddish pink shade here. And I'm going to start laying it down on this. So for the next brush I'm going to use, it's going to be the Sephora Airbrush Crease. There's no number, it's just called Airbrush Crease. I bought it a couple years ago, so I'm not sure if it's something that they still carry, but it's worth a look if you like it. I'm going to be going into the color Gossip next with this Airbrush Crease brush. Closer, so it's a little easier to see what I'm doing. I don't want chiz to get lost. Okay, so I'm going to be doing Halo look. So you're going to want to start with the purple Alchemy shade out on the outer corner, and then drag it across the crease to the inner corner, so that the inner, about third of your eye, has nothing on it. You're going to get stuff that probably falls down into that area, but that's okay, we'll cover it up. Okay, so now if we want to lay down a little bit more color, which we do, we're going to need a little bit more of a dense brush, less of an airbrush finish. So I'm going to be using this brush that I got in one of my Ipsy Glam bags. It's a crown brush, and it is the AC012 Shadow Crease Duet. It's double-ended. I'm going to be using this shadow side of it. That's pretty fat and dense. So the next color I'm going to go into is going to be Sketch. Right here, this purple. I'm going to dip the tip of the brush in, not the side. Tap off my excess. Start with 100 up here. It's kind of like a sparkly forest green, or the color of money. And I'm going to take that crown brush again, the eyeshadow end, and bop it in there. So I'm just going to be taking that and focusing it right in the center of the lid. And then you can kind of wiggle your brush back and forth to feather it into the other colors. Okay, so now to get more kind of like a snake skin color effect, I'm going to be going in with the color Mean right on the bottom. It's a super, super bright electric lime green. So for this color Mean, I'm going to be going in with E57 from Sigma. It's a firm shader brush. It's super dense and helps to lay down really heavy amounts of pigment. So I'm going to try it with a dry brush first, and if I don't like it, I'm going to try it wet. I'm not sure how this pigment is going to work. I've never used this palette, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to lay it right over that other money colored green that I put in there. So I like how it looks, but I'm going to try it wet just because I'm super curious. So if you want more color payoff or you want a foiled look with some of your shadows, you're going to want to wet your brush, dip it in the product, and then use it. So what I'm going to use to wet is my Smashbox primer water. It's just a water with electrolytes, and just spray a little bit onto the brush head. And then you'll pull it through your eyeshadow, and then just kind of dot it on. And I think this is a good choice. It helps give it more of an iridescent finish, pulls out the yellow undertones in the eyeshadow, so I definitely think this was a good choice. So what I'm going to use for foundation, I'm going to use a mix. Since my skin is pretty dry this time of year, I'm going to be using a mix of these two foundations. The L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow and the Pro Matte. The Pro Matte, I just really like the finish of it. I like good matte skin, and then I like to use my highlight to make it look a little more dewy. And I also use setting spray, and the Pro Glow I use just for a little extra hydration because I find that the matte alone is way too dry on my skin. So what I do is I just put it onto the back of my hand. I use quite a bit because I'm looking for super full coverage because I do have so much acne and scarring. So I like to mix them on the back of my hand. I use about equal portions of each one. Now that I have that down, I'm going to go in with my concealer and do a little concealing up here under my eyes and then down the center of my face just to bring a little more light to it. So I'm just gonna do kind of like a triangle down underneath my eyes, and then I have to blend it right away to highlight just a little bit on my forehead. I don't have a big or small forehead. I think it's pretty normal size, so I don't camouflage it and I don't hide it or draw any attention to it. So now to set everything, especially the concealer, I'm going to be using one of my favorite powders. I hate the smell of it, but I love the powder. It's Coty Airspun. You can get it for like a couple dollars at Walmart or Walgreens. Walgreens is personally where I get it. And it smells like a grandma. I'm not gonna lie, it smells like my grandma's house. But it works super well for baking. I'm gonna use a Real Technique sponge because it has this really nice flat side on it, and I think it's perfect for getting right under the eyes. So I'm gonna use that to bake, and you can use it damp or you can use it dry. I've used it both ways and it works great. Right now, personally, it's damp because I cleaned it today. So just dip it, the flat side, in, and then just start patting it in underneath your eye. You don't want to blend it in, you want it to set on top of the skin. So I'm just gonna let that sit, and then I'll do my brows while I'm waiting for all the bake to set in. What I'm gonna use today, since I don't have an Anastasia Brow Wiz handy, is the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Pencil. It's basically a dupe for the Anastasia ones, and it has a little spoolie on one end to comb out your eyebrows, and then the other end has a little micro pencil on it. So I'm just going to brush out my brows. I start on the tail of the brow and just use somewhat short little strokes and drag it in the direction that the hairs are, hair-like motions, just to try to mimic the look of hair. And I have pretty full brows all the way through, so I don't have to be super light-handed here. Some people like that look where it fades off. My brows just naturally don't do that, so it looks weird to me. And then once you get them filled, you're just gonna want to make sure you're brushing them just to make sure you didn't miss any. So I take my damp beauty blender and I'm gonna spray it with my setting spray. I'm using the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day spray. I have the cucumber scented one, and just take your sponge, spray it, and then press the bake into your face. Freaking phenomenal. And look at that. I don't know how much the camera's showing, but I have no pores. So now we're gonna do the bottom lash line. I'm going back into my Full Spectrum palette. And I'm going to be starting using a flat brush just to kind of get everything mapped out where I want it, and then we'll smoke it out. So the brush I'm using today is Morphe M432. Any flat brush will do. I'm going to start with my darkest shade, and then I'm going to start moving lighter. And then I'm just going to pull it and just keep dragging, and then I'm going to drag it up into where the wing is up here to connect everything and to soften that. I'm going to use my favorite bronzer by Too Faced, Chocolate Soleil. It is by far my favorite bronzer. It's the perfect color for so many different skin tones. So I'm going to go in with the E4 from Morphe. Nice little slanted brush will help get the job done. And just start carving out where you want your contour to be. And then you're just going to want to start at the brow. That's where the natural shadow starts. And just pull down the sides of your nose. Mine's a little crooked, so it is what it is. It's gonna look how it's gonna look. But as you can see, it helped kind of narrow the nose a little bit. And then I'm gonna bring some onto my neck, my jawline, just to help warm everything up a little bit. So now for blush, I'm going to go in with the Milani Powder Blush. This is in Tea Rose. So it's a really nice pale pink. I'm not one who wears a lot of blush, so this one works out really nice for me. The brush I'm going to use is the Morphe E3. Just a nice standard little blush brush. I like to kind of alternate cheeks just so I don't put too much color on just one. And then I just pull it up to match up with my contour. The best part, highlighter. So I'm going to be using Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop. So I'm just going to take this little e.l.f. blush brush. It cost me like $1 at probably Target. And I'm just going to sweep this on the cheek. And always make sure with these powder highlights that you tap off the excess. Ooh. And push it out so that it hits just where the light would. And then I kind of have to usually go in and soften it a little bit. And then I like a little bit on the tip of the nose. And then tiny, tiny bit down the bridge. So our next step is going to be lashes. I'm going to wear a new pair of lashes. I've never tried these before. They're from Eylure, number 126. Before we put our lashes on, I'm going to give my lashes a coat of mascara. I'm going to be using the Colossal Base Shot by Maybelline. So I've already got the lashes trimmed and glue on them. I used my House of Lashes glue, which is one of the best. And I'm using this little lash tool to put the lashes on. So just open up your eye and stick them right at the lash line. And you can pinch them down with your finger. So our last step is going to be lips, and I chose a kind of sparkly purple color. It is called Wolvesmouth, and it's from a holiday kit from Kat Von D that came out, I think, 2 years ago. So it's just a little guy. My lips are so crooked. Alright, so once you have all of that done, you're completely finished. You can go rock the town, do whatever you are gonna do with this beautiful look. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm hoping to have more looks up more consistently, more frequently. So just let me know down below what you want to see. And if you like this look, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, tell your friends, and check me out on other social media. Thanks. Bye.